After a 2.
Oka and Guman, you have Nevaeh Caffey, Lene Beaumont, Adissa Noyan, Shea Chesky, and Valentina Kedler.
Broncos, Western Michigan won the tip, and they've got it left to right to begin this one here in Assembly Hall. Bolds needs some help. She's got it right side wing. Carlson kicks. Starks steps back. 3-ball on its way off the front of the rim. Rebounded by the Hoosiers. Here comes Noyan. Caffey, the true freshman point guard at the helm for the Hoosiers. She's got a right side wing. Strong start to the season and her collegiate campaign. Caffey dishes. Beaumont, left side block, up. Can't finish, she was fouled. That's the aforementioned Mukaira Orby picking up her first of the evening.
Lene Beaumont getting to the basket early, getting herself to the free throw line. She's an 87.5% free throw shooter, as you can see, trying to fight through the contact there.
Beaumont has been key for the Hoosiers so far to begin this season, the 6'1" sophomore out of Illinois. A redshirt sophomore, missed all of last season in the starting lineup for the Hoosiers tonight. She goes 2 for 2 at the line. Some full court pressure here from Nevaeh Caffey. Allie Carlson brings it up the floor for the Broncos. Carlson, left side wing. Here's Mukaira Orby. Drives, steps back. Good defense there from Noyan. Cross-court pass. Carlson has 6 to go on the shot clock. Now 5. Mukaira Orby. Right wing triple at the buzzer. She gets it to fall. A prayer answered for the Broncos. They're on the board.
She was fading to her right when she took that one. Just a 28% three-point shooter. Gets that one to fall, gives Western Michigan an early lead.
Here's Chesky, dishes. Kadletsova from 3. That one hit the glass before falling off the rim, and Noyan's going to be called for a personal foul. Her first of the contest. As you see there, Terry Morin, the head coach for the Hoosiers in her 12th season at the helm of Indiana. Ryan, the program's all-time winningest head coach.
All-time winningest, taking them to 3 Sweet 16s, an Elite 8, 10 straight 20-win seasons, a decorated career already with the Hoosiers.
2-time Big Ten Coach of the Year is Morin. Looking for her Hoosiers to get back in the win column tonight. Carlson, met by Noyan, dishes. Starks spins, left hand off the glass and home.
Nice footwork there from Starks and the left hand off glass. Broncos extend their lead.
We have a carry, another turnover called on the Hoosiers. That was Shea Chesky. Got her hand underneath that ball. A turnover for Indiana. Western Michigan takes over, as you see Kate Achter in her first season at the helm of the Broncos, coming over this offseason from Detroit Mercy.
She did a great job at Detroit Mercy, taking them from 1-29 to 32 wins over the next 2 seasons. Trying to get a big upset win here in Assembly Hall.
Bolds triple on its way, and we've got ourselves a wedgie, Ryan.
Oh, you pray to get one of those on a call. And we have one here early in the first quarter. Ball's going to go the way of the Hoosiers.
This is
spectacular.
Possession
Arrow.
2.5 minutes in, not even. And we've got a first quarter wedgie, and now we've got a jump off to try and see if somebody can get it down. This is spectacular. Ryan, you think you could get it?
I don't think so. I can get the net, but I don't think I can get that high to knock the ball out.
I don't want to sound arrogant. I have confidence in myself. I do. And looks like we've got a secondary ball here to get it unstuck. Basket does not count. Don't worry, it went in. The basket does not count for Western Michigan.
Get another look at the wedgie. Didn't even, no bouncing around, straight in, and saving the day by the staffer. We're back underway.
Indiana trailing early by 3. Beaumont off from the top of the key. Now one falls out of bounds. The Broncos will take over. Indiana, it's interesting, the slow start offensively, just 2 points, Ryan, in the first 2.5 plus of this ball game. That hasn't been a problem for Indiana this year. 76.3 points per game on the season, 95 last time out against Iowa State.
Yet to make a field goal so far, just about 3 minutes in, just those 2 free throws from Beaumont.
Starks drives, spins, left hand off the glass, counted, and the foul.
Kylie Starks, that's 2 times now off glass with her left hand. This time she draws the contact. We'll take another look at it. Drives to the right, spins again, and Kadlitsova with a little bit too much of a push, but Starks was able to fight through it. And the Broncos up 7-2 with another chance for a three-point play.
Free throw rattles home, 8-2 the early lead for Western Michigan. Starks and the Broncos on an 8-0 run. Starks has been playing well as of late, double figures in 3 straight. She's off to a strong start. She's got 5 early. Here's Chesky. She had 38 last time out, one of the leading scorers in the country, off on her first shot attempt of the ball game.
You mentioned it's uncharacteristic of the Hoosiers to have a slow start like this.
It's Ariana Wilkes into the game at that last dead ball. She's fouled down low. It's going to go against Nevaeh Caffey, something already that has bitten Indiana all season long. The foul starting to pile up early in this first quarter. Starks drives, doubled, and we have a jump ball. The possession arrow will give that to Western Michigan. But I mentioned the foul trouble, Ryan. Indiana ranking towards the bottom of the country in terms of fouling. They average 21.9 fouls a game. That is 341st in the country. They foul more than pretty much anybody else in the country. That's off at the front of the rim. Offensive rebound won't go either for Richardson. Beaumont on the attack. Caffey needs some help. Down low, Noyan. Doubled, she steps through it, too hard off the glass. Indiana struggles from the field, continue. They're 0 for their first 4.
Couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Broncos. Indiana cold, Western Michigan showing life on offense after struggling against Roosevelt.
Really a situation last time out, last Tuesday, where they kind of ran out of gas, ran out of legs, as that's another foul down low. That's going to be the second on Caffey. It will send Ariana Wilkes to the charity stripe. That last time out for Western Michigan, we talked about it, Ryan, a overtime loss, 82-70 against D2 Roosevelt, but without their leading scorer, the Broncos were in that contest. Deanna Richardson didn't play, neither did Allie Harness, an important piece off the bench. And late in that game, they led by double figures even in the second half, but really ran out of gas down the stretch.
And Wilkes misses the first one. She's just a 25% free throw shooter. She piled up 15 rebounds in that previously mentioned game to Roosevelt, but again, wasn't enough, but she hits the second.
It's an early 7-point lead for Western Michigan over Indiana. The Broncos playing 3 Big Ten teams in their non-conference portion of the schedule, Michigan State and Ohio State, the other Big Ten programs, as that's a foul on the floor on the Beaumont drive as a substitution here for the Broncos. Mukaira Orby will head to the bench as Allie Hartness checks into the contest for the first time this evening.
And Mukaira Orby just picked up her second foul. She has both of the Western Michigan fouls so far, Indiana with 4 fouls. So the Broncos already in the bonus with more than half of the first quarter remaining.
Caffey to inbound. She almost threw it away. It's off of Starks, who nearly had a steal. You mentioned the 4 fouls. You mentioned the foul trouble for Mukaira Orby. She's got 2. Caffey with 2 already on Indiana as well. Maya Makaleski into the contest for Indiana at that last dead ball. Here's Chesky. She drives, right side, she finishes.
Well, it took them over 4 minutes, but Indiana has their first field goal of this matchup, and they cut into this Bronco lead.
An Indiana career high 38 points last time out for Chesky down in Fort Myers against Iowa State. That's a turnover. Starks lost it out of bounds. It's a good sight, though, to see for Indiana. Chesky picking up right where she left off.
Yeah, I was able to get to the lane. That's where she does most of her damage. She's a good shooter from outside, of course. When she drives aggressively, tries to draw contact.
Here's Beaumont left side. She can't finish off of the nice feed from Phoenix Stotine, who's into the game for the first time for Indiana. Here comes Carlson. Wilkes. Carlson around a screen. She kicks. Bolt's not really a threat to shoot from 3-point range. She's 0 for 4 in the season. Carlson is. She steps inside the arc. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Starks drives, and she gets another one to fall with the left. Starks up to 7 on the evening.
And all 3 of her field goals, drives going with the left hand off the glass.
Makaleski left corner 3, that rattles home. The HSE product picking up where she left off last time out. She had 3 threes against Iowa State. She's hit her first of the night here. Harness off from deep, rebounded by Chesky. The Hoosiers will push. Beaumont in transition, left hand. She can't finish. Offensive rebound, Makaleski. She had it taken from her. And here comes Harness. She'll slow it down.
That was the fastest pace we'd had so far tonight. Floor really opening up for the Broncos and the Hoosiers.
Wilkes, Carlson, Beaumont guarding her. Here's Starks, 5 seconds to go. She's been the one that's been able to handle the grenade so far for Western Michigan, unable to do so there. Off the front of the rim, here comes Chesky for the Hoosiers. She's pushing the pace in transition, off the glass. Couldn't get it to fall. Rebound saved by Bolds into the hands of Harness, and here comes Carlson.
Chesky wanted a foul call there. That was that we talked about earlier, her wanting to draw contact. Didn't get the call there.
Harness couldn't handle that pass.
Iowa State all the way, but just couldn't get it done. Took the loss 106-95 for their first loss of the season.
Indiana looking to get back into the win column tonight, taking on Western Michigan, trailing early 11-7, with about 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter of action. It's Stotine, top of the key for the Hoosiers. She wants a screen. That's Wiseman will set it. Stotine drives. Off the glass, too strong. Rebound, Bolds.
Indiana's been able to get to the hoop, but they just can't get those layups to fall. They've missed at least 3 layups so far here in the first quarter.
Harness. She'll take a screen from Richardson. Harness has some room. Right elbow jumper. That one falls. Allie Harness back in familiar territory. An Indiana native, played her high school basketball up in Fort Wayne at Carroll High School. Back in the state of Indiana this evening. She's on the board with her first 2. Here's Beaumont off the glass, up and over Bolds. And Lene Beaumont has her first field goal of the contest.
She had to fight through some contact there. That one coming, hitting the backboard underneath the rim and finding its way over and down for another layup for the Hoosiers.
Beaumont double figures in 6 straight. The Hoosiers looking for big things from her as Richardson misfires from distance. Chesky, a threat to shoot it as soon as he steps across half court. She'll drive this one. She kicks. Beaumont attacks the closeout. Back to Chesky. She fires. The 3 rattles in and out. Harness the rebound, and we have a foul. That'll go against Faith Wiseman, the Martinsville, Indiana native, picking up her first of the evening. She'll head back to the bench. Odessa Noyan back in. First time this evening. Journey Kiaku in as well as you get another look at that Wiseman foul.
Yeah, Wiseman reaching in there for the ball, just a little bit too aggressive. Couldn't get her arm free from Harness, and Harness will go to the line. As previously mentioned, the Broncos have been in the bonus for about 4 minutes. This is the first time they're going to go to the line while they've been in the bonus.
As I mentioned, Harness back to the charity stripe, back in the state of Indiana as she misses the first free throw. She grew up in Flora, Indiana, just outside of Burlington, a small town of about 2,000 people. Splits the pair at the line. The lead for Western Michigan is 5 as Terry Morin barks out some orders to Shea Chesky. She brings it across the timeline. Beaumont catches. Chesky hounded, almost lost it. She went into the backcourt but deflected into the backcourt the ball was. Here's Chesky. She drives, she hangs, and she hits. Shea Chesky perhaps starting to get it going a little bit. She's up to 4 points here in the first quarter.
A little bit of a cold start, but you're right, getting back into it. Head coach Kate Ashter over on the Western Michigan bench was not happy with the no call of the backcourt violation, but back with the ball are the Broncos.
Harness back to that right elbow extended. That one doesn't fall. Offensive rebound, Broncos. Harness left alone. She launches, and Harness has her first triple to lead back to 6 for Western Michigan.
Harness with the smooth shooting here in the first quarter, trying to keep the Broncos in front.
6 points off the bench in Harness's homecoming back in the state of Indiana. That's a foul out front. Going to go against Richardson. That's just team foul number 3. So still a ways from the bonus are the Hoosiers with just 47 7/10 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, the first foul on Western Michigan that didn't go against Mukaira Orbe.
Kyaku to inbound, Chesky, short corner, jumper, that one falls. I mentioned it, Ryan, 38 last time out. She has 20 plus in 3 straight. She's got 6 early in this one.
She's really turned it on here in the second half of the first frame, trying to get the Hoosiers back into this one.
Starks, she's had a hot hand for the Broncos to begin this one. Bold, she launches from 3, top of the key. It hits the backboard and falls home. Demijah Bold was 0 of 4 from 3-point range before that one, but she hits her first of the season to give Western Michigan a 7-point lead here early. Indiana will hold for one final shot, 5 seconds to play in the first quarter. Chesky, left elbow jumper, she answers. That's how this first quarter will come to a close. 20-15 lead for Western Michigan over Indiana. Chesky, 8 first quarter points as we're back underway here in the second quarter. That's Caffey back into the ball game. Makaleski will fire from 3, no hesitation, off the front of the rim. Long rebound. Noyan, did she save it? She did. Odessa Noyan into the starting lineup for the injured Zania Soka Guman. Earns her team another possession.
Yeah, that's good effort there from Noyan to be able to throw that ball off of Wilkes, save it just in the corner right in front of the Broncos bench. And you're right, another possession for the Hoosiers.
Beaumont to inbound. Here's Chesky. Back to Beaumont. She'll drive. Nice move, front of the rim. Beaumont's up to 6.
Stopped up in the lane there. Used the pivot foot, created some space, and fadeaway jumper is true for Beaumont.
We talked to Indiana assistant coach Paul Miller earlier today, and he said a big reason for Beaumont's breakout, specifically over the last 5 or so games, has been she's just simply been shaking off the rust. She missed all of last season as Starks misfires from inside the paint. Here comes Caffey in the break. She can't finish.
That was smart defense there from Wilkes. Looked like she kind of opened the door from underneath Caffey. Caffey expecting to get some contact. Wilkes just takes a step back, and Caffey misses a layup. It's been a problem here early for the Hoosiers.
Carlson, top of the key, guarded by Chesky. Here's Wilkes. Handoff Starks. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Richardson's gonna have to hoist. She does. It's off the back of the rim. A lot of late shot clock shots early for Western Michigan. Chesky threw it away. Here comes Carlson, and a foot race to the basket. She'll win it and finish with the left hand.
Her defense rewarded for Carlson. We talked about Richardson returning after missing the game against Roosevelt. Maybe she's trying to shake off some rust. She's 0 for 4 to start this one. No points so far for the redshirt senior.
Nearly another turnover there from Chesky. It was deflected out of bounds off of the Broncos, so the Hoosiers will retain possession, but Indiana trailing by 5 early in this second quarter. It's been pretty much all Chesky and Beaumont for the Hoosiers. They've combined for 14 of Indiana's first 17 points. Here's Beaumont. She couldn't handle the inbounds pass. Turnover number 3 for Indiana in this first half. Wilkes drives and finishes. She had Noyan looking the other way, and she took advantage. Wilkes on the board with her first field goal. Beaumont can't finish on the other end. A struggle so far for the redshirt sophomore, just 2 of 6 so far. She's reached double figures in 6 consecutive contests. Beaumont being counted on for a lot more scoring this year for Indiana than she was the last time she took the floor her freshman year. That's a heads-up play by Caffey to knock it out of bounds off of Carlson.
Yeah, the effort certainly high from the Broncos so far in the first half, but back-to-back plays for the Hoosiers where they save the ball off of a Western Michigan player to get the possession back, but the scoring just not there so far for Indiana.
Hoosiers shooting Just under 37% from the field so far compared to 47% for Western Michigan as Kadletsova drains the three, her first of the ball game. Indiana back within 4. That's their second triple of the ball game.
The Hoosiers will take the scoring anywhere they can get it. It was pretty much all Chesky and Beaumont.
Kadletsova making her 9th consecutive start to begin the season. She started all 9 games so far as Starks can't finish with the right hand. Bolds is there to clean up the mess.
She comes in there, 3 Hoosiers around her, and fights for the offensive rebound, puts it right back up, keeps the ball high, and the Broncos strike back.
Ryan, that's already 4 offensive rebounds for Western Michigan. They have 7 second chance points as Chesky gets into double figures. She's the first one tonight into double figures. She's got 10. Chesky, the 6th leading scorer in the country, 10 points early on, 10 over 22. That one well out of bounds, a misfired pass, an errant pass there from Starks, intended for Carlson. Faith Wiseman back into the game for Indiana. Odessa Noyan will sit. The Hoosiers trailing by 5. That shooting percentage I mentioned earlier, Ryan, up over 40% now for Indiana. Kadletsova down low, Wiseman spins, she's blocked, and the Hoosiers will retain possession.
Ever since the first quarter, Indiana's been shooting a bit better. We get another look at the block there. Wiseman trying to go up off the ground, comes back up and is able to get the hand back up. Is DeBarbare. It goes out of bounds, stays with Indiana.
Chesky to play it in. She's got a wide open Caffey who lays it in on the left side. The true freshman, Nevaeh Caffey, in on the scoring now for the Hoosiers. A true freshman as Terry Moore in starting point guard. You don't hear that too often, but the Hoosiers think they might have their Chloe Moore-McNeil replacement in Caffey. DeBarbare can't finish. Fans wanted to travel, and she missed, and she's going to pick up a personal foul here anyway.
Yeah, that crowd calling for a travel. She doesn't end up being able to put it home on the drive. Contact from Wiseman, and then trying to get the offensive rebound fouls Kadletsova. Just the first foul of the entire quarter for either team. We're halfway through this second quarter.
That was a point of emphasis today at shoot-around for Indiana. Avoiding foul trouble as Richardson has a steal, but Caffey hustles back and takes it right back. Caffey, the Missouri native, drives around Carlson and finishes.
Indiana's worked their way back, and they've tied it back up at 26. Crowd rises to their feet.
Caffey and the Hoosiers have tied it. The Assembly Hall crowd rises to their feet. Harness from deep. She's off. Caffey the rebound, and here come the Hoosiers. Caffey around a Wiseman screen. Kick out. Kadletsova, three-pointer on the way. Too strong. Boy, that would have lit a fire into this building.
One of those moments where the crowd was ready to explode, but the Broncos now try to get their lead back. Haven't scored in 2:10.
Harness, Richardson, rips, drives, off the glass, can't finish. Wiseman the rebound, and Beaumont will bring it across for Indiana. 6 early for Beaumont. She spins back to the left hand, and she finishes with the right. Indiana has taken their first lead since it was 2-0 in the first quarter, and that'll prompt a timeout from Kate Atchter and the Western Michigan Broncos. Indiana.
First one in the gym. She was the first one on the court tonight when we were getting ready for our broadcast. She was the first one out there getting reps in, stretching out, shaking that rust off.
Western Michigan ball coming out of the timeout, but that's a turnover right through the hands of Mukaira Orby as Indiana will take over. Their first lead of the ball game since the 9:17 mark of the first quarter. Indiana led 2-0, but this is their first lead since. Beaumont drives, baseline, creates space, up, and she gets it to fall. Lene Beaumont, the second into double figures tonight for the Hoosiers. She joins Shea Chesky, and Indiana's lead is up to 4.
Hoosiers now on a 10-0 run, 13, and also a 13-2 run, and Western Michigan hasn't scored in almost 3.5 minutes. They were up 26-20. They've gone cold since then.
Broncos looking to get back into the rhythm that they started this contest with. Starks drives, another left-handed finish off the glass. The degree of difficulty on some of these Kylie Starks layups is about a 9 or 10 out of 10. Caffey, triple off. Rebound Kadlitsova. Beaumont out to Chesky, all alone from the left wing, and she makes Western Michigan pay.
Chesky getting it going from outside after Western Michigan breaks up the 10-0 run. Shea Chesky says, I'll put that one in from 3, and she's the leading scorer again for Indiana with 13.
The 46% three-point shooter is Chesky. Ill-advised, I'd say, to leave her that open from distance. Here's Carlson, a step-back triple. She answers. Allie Carlson up to 5 points now tonight. Her first triple of the contest. Chesky, she drives, she kicks. Caffey behind her back. Working against Carlson, left side, too strong off the glass. Rebound goes to Wilkes. Carlson drives. Mukaira Orby, her three-point efforts off. Out of bounds, last touch by Starks. Indiana will take over possession. Western Michigan continuing to hang around though, Ryan.
Yeah, you mentioned they don't want to leave Shea Chesky open outside the arc. When the ball went to Chesky, Western Michigan head coach Kate Achter put her hands on her head. She knew that one was going in as Shea Chesky, you mentioned 45% from 3.
That's Stotine in. Back for the Hoosiers. She's off from distance. Wiseman kept the rebound alive, and the nation's 6th leading scorer is back at it. She's got 15 early in the first half for Indiana, showing why she's not only the nation's 6th leading scorer, but she also leads the Big Ten in scoring, averaging 24 a night. Starks off on the first go-around. But the Broncos have another opportunity here as we tick under 60 seconds to play in half number 1. Bolds hit a 3 earlier. She's thought about it momentarily. Starks drives, Kadlitsova steals, and here comes Stotine. Kick out. Chesky, she won't hesitate from deep. It's just off the front of the rim. Another one of those moments, Ryan, where this place would have erupted had Chesky been able to knock that one down. She forces a 10-second call here, though. She wasn't able to convert offensively, but getting things going defensively is Indiana's leading scorer.
That's a tough mental mistake for the Broncos. You have a chance to cut the lead to just one possession nearing the end of the first half, and instead Indiana will try to extend their lead before we get to halftime.
About a 16-second difference between shot clock and game clock, so Indiana can't hold for the last shot. The shot clock is at 4. Beaumont has to do something with it. Guarded by Carlson. She drives off the glass too strong, and that's a shot clock violation. A strong defensive possession there from Western Michigan. They'll get the last shot.
It felt like the Hoosiers didn't really realize that they were only going to get 20 on the shot clock for that possession, moving a little slow and left Beaumont with not a lot to do there late.
Harness drives, and we have a whistle. That's an illegal screen. I believe they'll tag Deanna Richardson with that personal. Her second of the contest, so with 6 seconds to go, Indiana will be the team with the last shot here in this first half.
In the first quarter, it was Mukaira Orby with 2 fouls in a quarter, and now Richardson with 2 fouls here in the second quarter, the only 2 fouls by either team.
Stotine, 3 seconds to shoot. She drives, right side block, and it falls off the front of the rim. That's how Indiana by 4 as we get the second half started. Deanna Richardson scoreless in that first half. The leading scorer coming into tonight for the Broncos as Bolds will fire from 3, and she banked it home. Not sure the bank is open at 6:55 on a Wednesday, but that's the second triple of the ball game for Bolds.
Yeah, both of them have been friendly bounces. That one just off the backboard. The other one took about 3 bounces to find its way to the bottom of the net.
That's Odessa Noyan down low, drawing the foul on Richardson. That is number 3 on the leading scorer for the Western Michigan Broncos. It will send Noyan to the free throw line, and it will send Richardson to the bench.
Yeah, she had 2 quick fouls in the second quarter, and not even a minute into the third quarter, she gets her 3rd foul. She, as you mentioned, is scoreless in this one. Noyan heads to the line.
Of course, we mentioned at the outset of the broadcast, Zania Ahsoka Guman out for the 2nd consecutive game for Indiana. That means Odessa Noyan gets her 2nd consecutive start. First-year Hoosier after transferring from West Virginia. She's a little bit different than Zed, as they call Zania Ahsoka Guman. But assistant coach Paul Miller said that she was thrown into the fire a little bit against Audie Crooks and Iowa State last Sunday, but the Hoosiers, they don't expect any step back with Ahsoka Guman out of the lineup and Noyan into that starting lineup for the Hoosiers. She's defending now down low in the post. Wilkes, left side off the rim. Wilkes has her own rebound, front of the rim. She spins it home.
Yeah, that's nice effort there from Wilkes, staying with the play, fighting to get the offensive rebound. Western Michigan has found themselves on the offensive boards very well so far in this one, and it's brought them back within 1.
The High Point transfer Wilkes has 5 in this contest. Here's Beaumont. Chesky drives, kicks. Caffey all alone in the corner. She missed everything. And the ball was deflected out of bounds by Wilkes and the Broncos, so the Hoosiers will retain possession. The shot clock, though, doesn't reset. Still 7 to shoot for Indiana. Caffey to play it in for the Hoosiers. Down low, Noyan working against Wilkes. She's doubled. She pump fakes. She misses. Rebound Wilkes.
She did a good job to get Wilkes in the air, but just didn't work with the contact, and instead it's no good, and Western Michigan now has a chance to regain the lead.
Starks had a good, strong first half. 9 first half points to lead the way for the Western Michigan for Starks in that first half as Mukaira Orby misses. Another offensive rebound, though, for the Broncos, but they can't take advantage here. Chesky, numbers for the Hoosiers. She dumps it down low. Caffey right side, off the first time. The second time, though, she gets it to fall home.
Caffey stays with the play there after missing the layup. Is able to put it back home. Indiana brings the lead back up to 3, but this game back and forth the whole way.
Western Michigan, a lot of fight after that loss 8 days ago against D2 Roosevelt. They're hanging tight with Indiana. Here's Caffey, right side. She's unable to finish. Offensive rebound, Noyan. Kick out, Kadletsova off the target. Carlson will push. No numbers here for Western Michigan. Starks, she steps into a 3. That's off. Long rebound. Starks almost got it. Beaumont, left side, kicks. Chesky, she won't hesitate. It rolls in and out. Noyan on the floor along with a couple of Broncos. Noyan gets it away. Kadletsova drives. Front of the rim, counted, and the foul.
The basket goes for Kadletsova, but that play was made by the effort of Odessa Noyan on the floor between 2 Broncos players, able to get the ball out. That creates the space for Kadletsova, who drives, and her floater falls through the contact. She's got a chance for a 3-point play, trying to stretch the Indiana lead to 6.
She made 11 appearances a year ago as a true freshman for the Hoosiers. But now in her 9th consecutive start to start her sophomore campaign, she's got 6 points, and she'll promptly head over to the Indiana bench as Maya Makalewski will replace her. Indiana leads by 6. It's their largest lead of the ball game at 6. Mukaira Orby, right side, directing traffic for the Broncos. She wants a screen. She'll use it. Beaumont goes under. Beaumont harassing defensively. Here's Starks, right hand off the left side. Another offensive rebound for Western Michigan. Shot clock resets back to 20. Carlson hits a driving bolt. She's off target. And Western Michigan nearly had what would have been their 8th offensive rebound of the contest, but instead it ricochets out of bounds.
The Broncos have gone cold here in the third, haven't scored in almost 3 minutes, and offensive rebounds have been a big story in this one. It feels like the Broncos have the most of them, but actually Indiana has 8 to Western Michigan 7.
The story of the Broncos being able to hang with the Hoosiers, though, tonight has been on the defensive end of the floor. It's been on this side of the ball where Western Michigan has been at its best. Beaumont, front of the rim, short. Noya on the offensive rebound, her second effort's off. Indiana continues to struggle to shoot from the floor. They're shooting under 39%. Indiana as a team comes into this contest as a top 20 field goal percentage team in the country. They came in shooting 49% from the field. That was 18th in the country, but the Hoosiers just 37.8% so far tonight. You got to credit the Western Michigan defense. 6 to shoot on the shot clock. Step back, Carlson off. Rebound, Noyan. She saves it to Beaumont. Chesky drives, and she's called for a travel. Chesky doesn't like it. Her head coach doesn't like it. The Indiana bench doesn't like it either. But the official is going to get Chesky with the travel. That looked like one of those delayed steps that we've seen a lot in the NBA, a lot in the WNBA the last couple of seasons. Chesky not getting the call there.
It looked like maybe they got her for possibly dragging her foot there in the lane. She did hesitate for a while, and makes it a tough one for the officials as she's hanging there for a while. She gets the call. You mentioned the bench unhappy, Chesky unhappy. Ball goes back to the Broncos.
It's been one area so far tonight where Indiana has been relatively solid. Just 6 turnovers so far for the Hoosiers as Makaira Orby nearly throws it away. It finds the hands of Harness. 9 to go in the shot clock. Makaira Orbe drives, dishes, right side. Wilkes finishes through the contact as well. A three-point play opportunity upcoming for the senior transfer from High Point. We talked about it earlier. She had 15 rebounds last time out for Western Michigan. That was a career high and the most by a Bronco since 2023. She's got 7 points, 5 rebounds tonight as Chesky gets on the board here in the second half. She's up to 17, the nation's 6th leading scorer.
Gets her first points of the second half after not getting any before the media timeout in that third quarter. Trying to wipe away the frustration, turn it into points.
Makaira Orby, a lane to the basket, out of control, but she was fouled. Now Makaira Orby will head to the free throw line. It's going to go against Odessa Noyan. Second team foul against Indiana in this third quarter of play as Noyan and freshman point guard Nevaeh Caffey head to the bench. Lene Beaumont back into the contest, as well as Faith Wiseman. Makaira Orby off on her first free throw. Kylie Stark set to check in for Makaira Orby, who has been in double figures twice this season, including last time out. 17 and 5 for her against Roosevelt as she sinks the second free throw. She missed all of last year with the leg injury, but she started all 5, now all 6 contests to begin this year for Western Michigan. The junior out of Spain has cut it to a 5-point deficit for Western Michigan.
She was perfect from the free throw line until that first of the pair there. Was able to split those.
Chesky, a nice drive and dish, but Wiseman had her shot recycled. Harness left alone, left wing, she gets it to fall. Allie Harness up to 9 points, her second three-pointer of the ball game. Brings Western Michigan back to within 2. Beaumont's off from the right side corner, and a chance to tie or take the lead now for Western Michigan.
I don't think Harness on that last possession realized how open she was until she spotted up to shoot. That's too much space that the Hoosiers gave up. And as you mentioned, a chance for the Broncos.
Western Michigan, in accordance with their head coach, Kate Actor, who was putting up the universal sign to slow down, will slow things down. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Wilkes lost it. She's on the floor out to Starks, and she lost it out of bounds. Turnover number 12 on the evening for the Broncos.
Wilkes had the right idea to get into the lane, go to the basket, but forgot the ball behind her, tried to get it back, got a pass away, but obviously as she was falling to the ground, it wasn't quite on target. And it'll be Journey Kiaku to bring the ball up for the Hoosiers.
It's interesting, Ryan, to watch both head coaches marshal the sideline. Terry Morin finds herself sitting on the bench a little more often than Kate Actor, who has been up. I think she stood for all 28 minutes of this game so far over on that Western Michigan sideline as Beaumont rejected down low once again. Western Michigan another chance, Ryan, to tie or take the lead and they'll once again slow things down offensively.
These are the opportunities that if you're Western Michigan, you have to take advantage of if you want to pull the upset here on the road.
Harness down low, Richardson still looking for her first points of the ball game. Is Western Michigan's leading scorer. She'll be a passer on this possession as Boldsmith fires from three. Here comes Kiaku. The Hoosiers pushing the pace. Kiaku left side. She can't finish. Journey Kiaku led to the free throw line for a chance at 2 shots at the line and potentially her first points of the ball game.
Able to get into the lane and just draw the contact with Harness. That shot did not have much of a chance to go, but Kiaku sends herself to the line. She's just 0 for 2 on the season from the line.
The senior averaging 2 points per game on the season. This is the 6th contest she's appeared in on the Young campaign. She misses the front end here. The senior out of Garner, North Carolina, began her career at North Carolina Central, spent the last 2 years at Duquesne, where she started all 33 games a year ago and averaged 13.2 points per game. She's on the board with her first point of the evening. Indiana's lead back to 3 as we near 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Harness. Carlson. Down low, Richardson. She works against Kadletsova. She falls away. She misfires. Long rebound out to Kiaku. It's been that kind of night for Deanna Richardson. 0 for 6 is the Broncos' leading scorer. Chesky all the way to the cup.
It's been that kind of night for Richardson. It's been that kind of night for Chesky after the first quarter has really turned it on. 17 points now for Indiana's leading scorer.
It's really been that kind of season for Chesky. Averaging 24 per game. She's got 19 tonight as Starks can't hit from 3. Beaumont. All the way from Beaumont. She finishes left side.
Harness was retreating and retreating on defense and ended up giving Beaumont a lane all the way to the basket, and Lene Beaumont is too good to let her have all that kind of space.
She hasn't been as efficient as she's been all season. She's a 55% shooter on the year. She's 5 of 13 tonight, but she's got 12 to push Indiana's lead back to 7. Starks stops, pops, and misses everything on the free throw line jumper. This is an important last 54 seconds, Ryan, for Western Michigan. Things, if they go wrong, they could get out of hand. They've hung around with the Hoosiers all night long.
Well, the Broncos had it within 2. Since then, they haven't scored in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. They're 0 for their last 4. They got it close, but they didn't take advantage of the opportunities. And now Indiana has a chance to really stretch the lead here near the end of the third quarter.
Chesky probes, attacks. She sees 2 defenders. She dumps it down low to Noyan, who finishes. Indiana's lead is as large as it's been all evening long. It's 9 with 30 seconds to play in the third quarter.
That is Shea Chesky using her threat of scoring to dump the ball off, and she gets the assist on a nice pass to Noyan.
Carlson, a 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Harness. Left side block, kick out. Richardson, top of the key, off the left side. Rebound, Caffey. She's got 7 seconds to play with. The freshman drives, hangs in the air. She can't finish. Beaumont the offensive rebound, and she didn't get it off in time. That basket will not count. But nonetheless, as we're back underway in the fourth quarter, and what stands out about Chesky, as good as she's been, she's taken it up a notch the last couple of games as Kadletsova is fouled. She's out of the free throw line for 3 shots, but in her last 3 games, Chesky, 20-plus points in each of them. She's averaging 29 points per game in her last 3. Good is an understatement, Ryan.
Outstanding might be a better word to describe it, and she's the heartbeat of this Indiana squad as Kadletsova's first free throw falls. Indiana leads for by double digits for the first time in this one. They'll look to try to pull away. The Broncos got within 2, but since then, a 9-0 Indiana run has stretched the lead to 11, and the Broncos have just gone cold.
Some full court pressure here being applied by Indiana. The Hoosiers, as you mentioned, Ryan, lead by 11. It's their first double-figure lead of the ballgame, as Indiana looks like they might have gone zone here coming out of the fourth quarter, just giving Western Michigan a different look here defensively. Richardson alone, right corner 3. It rattles in and out. Leading scorer for the Broncos continues to struggle in her first game back from a 1-game absence. Chesky from deep. She doesn't miss many of those.
If you give her any space, she's going to punish you. She does it again there, now with 22 points. And Indiana up 14 and really trying to break this one open here early in the fourth. And if the Broncos have any chance of coming back, they need their leading scorer, Richardson, to at least get on the board. It feels like there's a lid on the basket for her so far in this one.
It's been a struggle for Deanna Richardson, the Bolingbrook, Illinois native. No points, 0 of 8 from the field. Starks from distance, she gets it to fall as the buzzer sounds. That one kind of just died on the heel of the rim, but that's a big shot to keep Western Michigan within arm's reach of the Hoosiers. Chesky lost it on the ground, a scuffle for it. Tie-up possession arrow will give it to Western Michigan.
That's a couple possessions there that the Broncos absolutely needed. That 3 falls, as you mentioned, it just died off the back of the rim. The Broncos have had some fortunate bounces on some attempts from range, and now the pressure is still on here by the Hoosiers full court.
Richardson across the timeline, kick. Starks, she just missed one from the left, or excuse me, just made one from the left side. Can't make that one though, but there to clean up the miss is Bolds. And just like that, it's back to single digits.
Western Michigan had the response when they needed it.
But so does Chesky. So does Indiana. Shea Chesky up to 24 points now in this one. She continues to do what she's done all season long for Indiana, and that's put the ball in the basket and do it efficiently. She's 11 of 16 tonight. Carlson. Mukaira Orbe, excuse me. She drives. She kicks. Carlson on the end of it. Bolds right side. She's got another.
Heads up play from Carlson, and she'll benefit with the assist there. Finds the loose ball that there were a couple Hoosiers around and is able to kick it out. And Bolds puts it home.
Kadlitsova, handoff. Beaumont back to Noyan, top of the key. Here's Chesky. She has it going for the Hoosiers. Free throw line, no look pass. Caffey drives, hangs, and finishes.
That one hit about as high on the backboard as it could go, and it goes home. A 3-point play opportunity for the Hoosiers. Caffey comes in, gets the slap on the arm. Thought she might have put too much on it, but instead, gravity takes it back down through the net, and Indiana with a chance to stretch the lead to 12 again. They've got it back to double digits.
Nevaeh Caffey, 8 points and counting on the evening. I know, Ryan, Thanksgiving is over, but Caffey has still got a lot on her plate as a true freshman starting point guard for the Hoosiers. But she doesn't shy away from the challenge that comes with starting at point guard as a freshman for Terry Morin's squad. She's up to 9 points now in the evening, 4 rebounds to go along with those 9 points. It's not about the scoring, though, for Caffey. If you ask anybody around this Indiana program, it's how does she defend? How does she initiate the offense? That's where she separates herself. As we have a jump ball, a tie-up, Indiana will have possession. Possession arrow favoring the Hoosiers with 6:32 to play. Indiana leads by 12. A danger zone here for Western Michigan.
Yeah, the clock will not be the Broncos' friend the rest of the way here, especially down by double digits. And Indiana with a chance to try to blow it open even more as Caffey is able to get the inbound pass.
A similar situation as to last Tuesday for Kate Actor's squad. That was a game last Tuesday. Again, that Western Michigan led by double figures at one point in the third quarter. But with some injury issues, they ran out of gas late. Oh my goodness, Ryan, we've got our second wedgie of the ball game, both on this basket. You can't make this up.
Absolutely not. Now it's on both sides. The first one was on the right, the second one on the left, but the system's down now. We know how to get it out while we're trying.
That one's really wedged in there. Need a little bit more gusto behind that pass. How about that? A double wedgie night in Bloomington.
Earlier, a three-pointer from Bowles got wedgied on the right side of that hoop, and then just now, a wedgie on the left side. Took a couple tries from a referee to hit that one out. He made a basket in the process. That one, again, doesn't count.
Ryan, I think this is probably the first game I've ever seen with two wedgies in the same game, as Chesky has a steal. She's shut off at the basket. Noyan from distance, she buries it. Odessa Noyan, just her second triple of the season, but it pushes Indiana's lead up to 15.
Yeah, she was just 1 for 5 before that shot. That's not her game, but with that much space, you almost have to take it. And she buries it. Nothing but net. And the Hoosiers are up 15 now.
Largest lead of the ball game for Indiana. Richardson, cross court. Carlson, guarded by Caffey. 7 to go on the shot clock. She picks up her dribble. She needs some help. Harness, right side, flips up a prayer. It's not answered. Long rebound out to Carlson. She drives, she attacks, she kicks it, and Wilkes finishes on the right side. And we have a timeout taken on the floor by Kate Actor and the Western Michigan Broncos.
Time Western Michigan beat Indiana, one of the best twists in film history in Empire Strikes Back. I won't spoil it for you.
If you haven't seen it at this point, I think you might never see it. As we're back underway here in Bloomington, Shea Chesky continues to stay hot for Indiana. She's up to a game-high 26 points. Indiana matching their largest lead of the contest. It's 15 with 4:30 to play. Carlson down low. DeBarberet back out to Harness. 5 to go on the shot clock for the Broncos. Carlson steps back off the front of the rim, rebound, Makaleski. Caffey hit ahead. Beaumont drives, turns, spins with her back to the crowd. She can't finish, but she will. Head of the Fritzgiving was filled with your cousins of all ages doing the 6-7 to you as well, but it was for me, as Beaumont's second free throw was good. It's 67-51 Indiana over Western Michigan with 4 minutes to play.
Fortunately or unfortunately for me, my cousins are not young enough to be doing it, but that is the score. It's 67-51 Indiana with the 16-point lead.
I don't know, that joke, that meme, whatever you want to call it, it knows no age limit. Carlson, free throw line off the backboard. She'll get her own rebound and she'll put it back up, and it falls off the rim. The rim unkind to Allie Carlson there as Chesky pushes. Beaumont rattles the three in and out. Whistle on the rebound. Beaumont on the floor on the near side. Odessa Noyan sent Emma DeBarberet to the floor underneath the basket. It's a loose ball foul against Noyan. But I think Terry Moran will be happy, though, Ryan, not just the first team foul here in this fourth quarter against Indiana.
Yeah, the Hoosiers have done a good job not getting into foul trouble. That was Noyan's third, but there's just 3.5 minutes remaining. And if I'm not mistaken, the Hoosiers have not put the Broncos into the bonus yet. Excuse me, I believe that they did it in the first quarter, but since then they've been staying out of foul trouble.
That was a point of emphasis for an Indiana team coming into today that has struggled with staying out of foul trouble. Terry Moran at shoot-around earlier today made it a point of emphasis to play defense without fouling, and for the most part, Indiana has been able to do that. Western Michigan has shot just 8 free throws as Chesky comes away with another steal. Turnover there, Indiana. Carlson attacks, the lane is left open, and she finishes with the left hand. That time, she got the friendly roll from the rim.
Carlson has been impressive in this one. scoring 7, but the passing and the effort from her on the offensive end has been impressive also on the defensive end.
Chesky kicks, Makaleski 3, it rolls in and out. Carlson on the rebound, she's fouled by Caffey. Couple of substitutions set to check in. Those will now come in as Indiana looks to empty their bench. Trio of substitutions for the Hoosiers as first off for Western Michigan, Mukaira Orbi checks back in. Shea Chesky, Nevaeh Caffey, Adessa Noyan out. Journey Kiaku, Chloe Spreen, and Jade Onjaneme into the contest for Indiana. First action of the ball game for the Frenchman, Onjaneme, as well as the former Miss Basketball locally from Bedford North Lawrence, Chloe Spreen, the Alabama transfer. A couple of Miss Basketballs on the court right now for Indiana with Maya Makaleski, the 2025 Miss Basketball, Chloe Spreen, the Miss Basketball in 2024 on the court, both for the Hoosiers, as that was a foul down low. Onjaneme picks it up, and it will send Wilkes to the free throw line.
Wilkes has been another standout tonight for Western Michigan, keeping them in this one most of the way until this fourth quarter when the Hoosiers took the opportunity to pull away with this one, as there's just 2:06 remaining, but Wilkes has 2 chances at the line.
First one rattles in and out. It's not just Makaleski and Spreen, the former Indiana high school greats. Allie Harness out of Carroll High School, as I mentioned earlier, she was an Indiana All-Star in 2024. Chloe Spreen, an Indiana All-Star in 2024. We saw Faith Wiseman earlier in this contest. She too was an All-Star in the state of Indiana in 2024. Plenty of talent from the Hoosier State on display in this one tonight. Kiaku top of the key for Indiana. Their lead is 14 as we tick under 2 minutes to play. That was a block off the glass from Wilkes. Another rejection for her. Here's Harness. Left side wing, she wants a screen. She'll get one from Wilkes. She'll reject it. 90 seconds to play. A valiant performance tonight from Western Michigan. A rebound performance that I'm sure Kate Actor will be happy with after falling to D2 Roosevelt last Tuesday as Mukaira Orbe rattles the 3 in and out. But Western Michigan getting back on track. The win isn't going to come tonight for the Broncos. They'll drop to 1-5, but the process much, much better this evening for Western Michigan, who has Loyola Chicago, a return trip for head coach Kate Actor, who coached earlier in her career before the Detroit Mercy stop. Coached the Loyola Chicago Ramblers.
It's a inspiring performance for Western Michigan after what was a disheartening performance against Roosevelt. Playing this close with a Big Ten school on the road. As you mentioned, they have other Big Ten schools on their schedule. But it's a sign that they can compete, they can play close. They couldn't get the win, as you mentioned, but the energy and the effort was there, and they did all of this with their leading scorer, Richardson, not scoring a point.
0 for 2 at the free throw line for Chloe Spreen, the former star out of Bedford North Lawrence. Onjaneme reverse, and she's got it. The first 2 points of Onjaneme's Indiana career, they come via a reverse layup. Kiaku's got a steal. She'll take it coast to coast and finish.
A couple of late layups for the Hoosiers to put the finishing touches on this one. An 18-point advantage. But the first points for Onjaneme as a Hoosier, as you mentioned, a nice layup from around the back.
She's somebody that Indiana could potentially be forced to lean on a little bit more than perhaps expected, as that's a tie-up. Possession arrow will give it to Indiana. Of course, with Zania Soka-Guman dealing with that lower body injury for Indiana. Should Adessa Noyan or any of the other post players for Indiana get in foul trouble, like Faith Wiseman, Indiana has the option, and Onjaneme off the bench. Crowd rises to its feet here in Bloomington. The final buzzer. It sounds in Assembly Hall, Indiana back to their winning ways. The Hoosiers